In health news, teens are dying from drug overuse more than ever before. A recent study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association shows teen deaths nearly doubled from 2019. Fentanyl caused more than 77% of teen drug-related deaths last year. Joining me to talk through this is Steve Carlton, Executive Clinical Director at Gallus Medical Detox Centers, which opened in April. So thank you for being here. Tell us what you guys do. You specialize in fentanyl and opioid treatment? Yeah,
we specialize in detox. So when people get addicted and physiologically dependent on drugs and alcohol, we help them get off.
I think that says a lot, the fact that there is a need for an entire center to do the type of work that you guys are doing.
Yeah, absolutely. We have 5 locations. We're in Dallas and Texas and Colorado and Arizona. Yeah, there's a huge need.
Okay, still a lot of people, I think, probably don't know what fentanyl is. People perhaps at home watching who may have kids, so let's go over that.
Yeah, absolutely. So fentanyl is a synthetic opiate. It's a painkiller. And what people need to understand about fentanyl is there's a lot of medical benefits and uses for fentanyl. The fentanyl we're seeing on the streets right now is mainly pushed through from cartels and drug dealers, and it's laced in all sorts of drugs and fake medications.
And so that's what's causing these deaths, is kids are taking perhaps recreational drugs and then they don't know that it's laced with fentanyl, and that causes them to overdose and die.
Exactly, yeah. So kids are actually not using and experimenting with drugs at the rates we used to see, but the overdose rate has tripled during COVID, in teens especially. And so well, they're not using drugs more, but they are overdosing more because it's so potent.
Okay, that's what, yeah, and so a lot of these drugs that we're talking about, laced with fentanyl, what types of drugs are most commonly used right now?
So these drug dealers, they're counterfeit pills. So they take OxyContin, which is a painkiller. They take Xanax, as a benzodiazepine, and even Adderall, and they press these pills in a sophisticated way to make them look like something that came out of someone's medicine cabinet. But in reality, they're these illegal drugs.
Yeah, and the way that kids are getting their hands on them are by buying them through other people?
Well, social media has greatly increased the access that kids and anyone has to these substances. You can go on social media and you can search specific emojis and find connections to drug dealers.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, okay, so we have it on our screen now. This is some of the stuff that maybe parents can look out for if you're monitoring your kids' iPads or smartphones. I mean, mushrooms, I think that's pretty obvious, but some of the other stuff, I mean, I wouldn't have known, like high potency, for instance.
That top line especially, is that blue circle, they call these OxyContin fake pills blues, right? And so that blue circle's a big one. And that red and yellow pill, that's one to look out for. That's
Xanax.
Commonly used.
And then, Adderall is interesting because it's so common for a variety of reasons. And when you talk to physicians, most of them say, look, there's no long-term side effect. There's no reason why you can't take it. So how can people, I guess, be careful with that?
This is why you have to talk to your kids about this, and your teens and kids home from college and whatnot, because they're very sophisticated. People selling these will tell you they're pharmaceuticals, that they're from a pharmacy, and they're not, and they look identical. And so it's really, that's what makes it so dangerous.
Where can people find you, and what's kind of like a final thought that you'd want to give parents as we're heading into the holidays?
Gallus Detox is a great place to find us. I think the SAMHSA website is another great resource that's a program locator. And I think the final thing is, when you're talking to your kids, teens and young adults like to be the experts, so let them be the expert. Ask them what they know about these substances. It's a great way to start these conversations.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time today. It was a super important conversation, and I hope that people out there will heed the warnings.